Welcome back, folks, to another episode of the Challenger Stories. Today I'm joined by Finn. Finn, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Finn. I'm an Xbox Siege player. I play on PC too, but primarily Xbox.
Yeah. And you're a fan of the game, huge fan, obviously enough to come all the way here from
Boston,
all the way down here to the Invitational, Paris. Big one. How has the weekend been, first and foremost?
Oh, it's been a blast. We started off exploring the city before the event even started, so we had a great start to the week. And then day one, opening ceremony was awesome. Seeing the orchestra was awesome. It's been a blast so far.
It's been a blast.
Yeah.
It's been a really special weekend, a big celebration of sort of everything that makes this game so special, and everything special does have a start.
Yeah.
When did you first get into Siege?
Oh, year one, season one. I did not play the beta, but my parents bought me an Xbox One. We had an Xbox 360 that I played Halo on, and I believe it was Christmas or maybe a birthday, and they got me an Xbox, and it came with Siege, and I would have never touched the game if they didn't get that bundle.
Included in there, and the rest is history, right?
The rest is history.
Since that point, favourite season of the last 10 years?
It'd be very hard to pick a favorite. I'd probably have to pick based on like a favorite operator. I'd say Habana. Those old seasons, a lot of nostalgia. I was not good back then. I was like silver.
That was the beauty of it, wasn't it? That's like old Siege. No one knows what they're doing. That's the fun stuff.
I was playing with my school grade kids, or my friends from like school, and being in middle school when the game came out, and now like growing up with Siege, it's just been such like a huge part of my life.
And when you first got into the game, did you ever imagine it would take you all the way over here to another continent?
No.
Being in an arena, watching people
Absolutely not. No, if someone had told me that I would be flying 7 hours to go watch video games when I was, 15, I'd tell them they were crazy.
Tell them they were crazy. And, well, you fly all this way. Why? What makes this game so special that you want to make this journey, make this commitment, and obviously a lot of investment as well?
It's the community. Honestly, there's nothing like being surrounded by the Siege community. The atmosphere, the cheering, the chants, the friendliness, the people you meet, and the things you do. It's fun. It's rewarding, and I really do feel like a part of this community, and it's a really good feeling to feel like that.
It's special what we have here in the Siege community. And we've had a lot of announcements this week, and the esports panel yesterday, all of that. Is there anything on there that perhaps sticks out to you as like the number one looking forward to?
The new operator. I'm really excited for the solid state snake. It's going to be interesting.
And majors next year, Salt Lake City, Japan, Brazil.
Yeah, I'll definitely be Salt Lake City. I really want to go to Japan. I really want to go to Brazil, but we'll see what happens.
Now, NA Major coming up next. NA team, who's your favourite?
Oh, it's got to be SSG or M80.
SSG, M80.
Yeah.
You think M80 you're going to go for the sort of next major run?
I could totally see it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think there's potential.
I would really love to see that team get another trophy.
Yeah, because obviously it was a bit of a disappointment. I think their run here in Paris, it wasn't quite, I think, what a lot of people expected them to be. Major champion debuff. And of course, next year it's going to be such a special one, year 11.
Yeah.
Got so much great stuff on. And to the people at home, to perhaps the fans that are like on the edge of coming to one of these events, unsure of themselves, what would you say to them to get them to come here and make the journey?
Reach out to someone who's gone to these events, ask them. I promise you they are all going to tell you that it is a blast. It is so much fun. Get a little group of people who go to these events and just go. It's a blast.
It's the community that makes this game so special, isn't it? The people around it, not just what's going on in those halls, but what we've got here outside about going out and getting up to shenanigans in the evening. After the event. I think we've got some shenanigans in the main hall going on right now, show match, year reveal panel, so I'm not going to keep you much longer. Finn, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the invitation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Swiss stage of Challenger Series 2026 here for the EML region. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. My name's Travi, and I'm going to be walking you through some of the action this evening. Now, there are plenty of games going on throughout the entire region. There are 8 single best of 3s to be exact. So there's a lot of games, a lot of action. Ted and Veen, welcome on into the stream. Hope you all are having a wonderful week, wonderful evening, and are ready for some Siege. Not going to beat around the bush. We've got quite a lot to go through before things start. So, how did we get here? It's stage 2 of Challenger Series. Now, we've beat past the open qualifiers. We know which teams are making the crop and which teams are going to be sent home short. Swiss stage, we have 16 teams. We have some invited from the 2025 season, and then we also have a few more that joined us through open qualifiers as well. 16 total will be the number finding us through in the Swiss stage, and as you can see there on the graphic in front of you, 8 of them will be making their way on towards the finals. It's pretty exciting stuff, pretty good fun here. Ted, would you believe it or not, I actually have a kebab from the boss man that calls me Trevor. We went there for dinner tonight because it was like, can't be bothered to cook. Still calls me Trevor, even though it literally says on the back of this, may I add, like on the back of this, it literally does say Travi on it. Still calls me Trevor. What more can you do? Is that bracket command right? Oh, this is a good question. No, the bracket command is not right. Hold on, I'm going to update that bracket command so you can see the full bracket. Edit, bracket, bosh. There you go. That's the right bracket now. That's the one for today. Professional streamer. I do have my stuff together. I swear. So, how does our Swiss bracket actually look for tonight? We've got quite a few games coming on through here in terms of action. Focus your way all towards the left. Now, this one might look a little bit messy. That's partially my graphics, also partially Swiss can get a little bit scrappy if you've not seen it before. You play 5 rounds of Siege. Winners play winners, losers play losers. You play teams with an equal track record. So today, everyone, it's seeded based on your previous performances. You're starting your tournament based on who you're seeding up against, who you go on through, and then you'll be seeded tomorrow based on who you're playing and butch holes to determine which opponent within that bracket. So all the winners from today will play the other winners. All of the losers from today will play the losers. Ted, you are looking at my masterful graphics skills here. This is my package. Do not diss my graphics. You go through each chunk of the bracket bit by bit by bit. All best of 3s. If you win 3 games, you qualify to the finals. If you lose 3 games before you win those 3, you are eliminated. That is the gist of Swiss, basically. You've got to win 3 games before you lose 3 games. You get to the final day, you're 2-2. It's do or die game, basically. You've got 3 lives. So it's going to be quite tough for these teams to progress on through. I do love my rounded squares and my circular spheres. More importantly, circular beers, if you know, you know. And in terms of what we're covering today, obviously you saw there's quite a lot of different teams there. There's quite a lot of different stuff. We're going to be watching Pannuhuone versus La Bourse today. So we're watching Pannu, the Finnish guys, versus up against La Bourse, which are a wonderful French team. Liam, yes, challenges the finals. So the finals stage of the competition, that is going to be on the main channel. So which... Let me get the right graphic up for you. So this one here, so this will be played on the finals, that final chunk there. That will be played on main broadcast. That will be on Rainbow Six channel, I believe. Versus this, which is obviously on community casts. There are plenty of other community casts. I believe there was a tweet put out. Go look on Twitter. There's quite a few of us live tonight. I actually think most of the games are being covered. So if there's other teams in the bracket you want to watch, I won't be that offended. I will go, you can go and watch those. However, in terms of our EML circuit as a whole, we've been leaked in this very high resolution image I borrowed from Twitter of what we've got coming up next. Obviously, this year's Challenger Series. If you don't win it here, you don't go into Pro League, it's fine. You've got the Challenger circuit to play on through. It looks similar as to how it did last year. We've got Rumble, we've got Combine, we've got South Breach, all with open qualifiers, so you can assemble your 5-stack, bring them on into the competition, and play with your besties. Because that's always a fun way to do it. Just bring your friends in, have a lot of fun with it. All 3 of those will have open qualifiers, as well as our circuit partnered tournaments as well. So there's quite a lot of fun action there. If you are an aspiring player that want to go and get yourself involved with things, I'm just suggesting that maybe, just maybe, it's a good little idea to go and get yourself stuck in. And, of course, well, I'd say the elephant in the room, but he's a little bit more of a snake. Of course, this season we have seen the introduction of Solid Snake to the game, our latest operator edition. He's cooking pretty hard. I don't know. Chat, you tell me. What are your thoughts on Snake? If you ask me, he's one of the best additions to the game in a little while. His gadget's fun. It's whether it's how it's going to sit in competitive meta, we will soon see. But equally, he's a lot of fun to play. The FAMAS is really good. The whole theming for the season, top notch. Do love it. So, what can I say? Hopefully y'all are Snake fans, and that gun skin, that sword, oh yeah. Modernised maps, unfortunately not in the comp pool, so we won't see any of them tonight, but there is a lot of fun stuff to be done here. We've got some balancing updates as well. Flores has an LMG now. I don't know where that one came from, but there's a lot of fun stuff on the horizon here, and we're only really just kind of on the crux, on the very tip of the surface getting started. And what do you know, give it a couple of weeks and we will all be deep within the action. So in terms of who we've got tonight, well, let's dive a look at our game. Let's see exactly what we've got going through tonight. Now, ignore that says Golu is here. Golu is here in spirit. Golu is not actually live present with us right now, but he will be here at some point in the future. Pannuhuone versus La Bourse. So let's go over our rosters. Let's see what we've got to over. Let's start with La Bourse. Why not? We'll start off with this French roster. Now, these guys, they're an impeccable-looking roster. I've watched them a little bit in open qualifiers previously last year. They're a really fun side. A lot of entertaining Siege to be played by these guys, and most importantly, they're pretty darn good at the game as well. I think a bit of heartbreak for them last year, just scraping in here to the qualifiers, I believe, in place 12 of 12 originally, so just about got in here. Got a lot to prove to themselves and the rest of the region. And obviously, being on one of those lower-seeded rosters, they're going up against one of the teams that was brought in here based on last year's status. Pannuhuone, our reigning T2 champions inside of EMEA. Nifsu, Nikkei, Jegs, Lambe, Rastin as well. And if you're looking in the middle of your screen and going, where the hell did Jegs come from? Where's my boy Huava? Huava's disappeared. He's gone into the Shadow Realm. Jegs has replaced him. This lineup is correct for Pannu. I know Skeptic is a sub for this roster. Ghost, I'm not sure if Jegs is playing tonight. And for the French team, for La Bourse, I am taking off of what's been readied up for me. Oh yeah, Bibu is on here. Okay, so they must have had a sub wrong, but Bibu is playing on the French roster. Bibu is on the side of La Bourse. I will get that graphic updated for future days. But yeah, Bibu is on La Bourse's side. So there's some quite fun ones there in terms of what we're seeing, and hopefully we're going to be seeing some quite fun maps as well. We're going to get those loaded up for you folks in just a second. The Veto's kind of just started to get ready, just started to unfold a little bit, so we've got time to have a waffle, have a sit, have a chit-chat. Predictions? Should we run some predictions? Let's run some predictions. See who the hell's doing what. Let's see who is doing what. Right, who will win map 1? We'll do it map by map. Someone's going to have to remind me. Is it going to be Pannuhuone or is it going to be La Bourse? I'll give you guys, I'll be nice. You guys can have 15 minutes for that one. So go get your predictions in. Let me know who you think is going to be winning. Get some channel points on the line. What are you going to use them for other than more channel point gambling? I don't know. But you'll find a purpose for them. Eventually, we might do something with them. But that's eventually. That's the future. We're here about the now. We're here about the present. So I think we're going to have a tech pause because I believe the map vetoes are broken on Challenger mode. I don't know how quickly I can get this on the stream. Give me 2 seconds. I think Challenger mode might be a little bit scuffed. 5k on Pannuhuone. Ted, that's a good choice. I mean, I'm not biased in the slightest, obviously, but Pannuhuone boys do have a bit of a special place in my heart, so I am going to be cheering him on. I think throughout these qualifiers, and hopefully good things can come on through for them. Now, I would like to just show you all what exactly is unfolding on Challenger mode, why we have this little tech pause. If you're not familiar with R6 map vetoes, that's not quite how they work. You don't ban bank and then pick bank. That's not quite how this works. You kind of tend to ban bank, which means they can't play bank, but not let La Bourse pick onto bank. Maybe they didn't pick bank. Maybe they picked something else. Maybe it's completely balked. Admins, our wonderful team, are looking into it. I believe it's actually the Hornet admin. He's been our point of contact. Normally it's Slumber for EU, but we've got the lovely Ben on things tonight. We do love Ben. Ben, if you're watching. Hi, Ben. I don't think Ben will be watching. And we've had a Clubhouse ban. We've had a second border ban. Okay. Yeah, so the vetoes are a little bit broken. I think I just don't understand. Yeah, Ted, I think you might be right. I just don't understand tech. This is some next level tomfoolery here from Bourse. Official, it is indeed official Ben that has been communicating with us all afternoon. The official Ben. We do love Ben. Can we get some W Bens? I love Ben. Ben's one of my favourite people, honestly. Ben is great. So we're gonna have a little while to kind of sit here. The bat veto is very wrong. So I can't show it on the stream for you folks at home, unfortunately. So we're just gonna sit, relax, and chill for this evening. It's just me tonight, if you can't tell. It's a solo cast. It's going to be a little bit more laid back, a little bit more chilled than it is normally here. Tomorrow, though, nice and early, bright at 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. Going to be here with Tiaki, doing some APAC. I believe we're doing North and Asia. Should be pretty fun games. And then in addition to that as well, we're going to be doing EMEA later in the evening. And then on Saturday, one of the APAC regions, the 2 EMEA games. And then Sunday, APAC, EMEA, and then maybe hopping over to Brazil as well for the evening. Yeah, Ghost, is Tom not live? I didn't realise Tom wasn't live. I think everyone today is busy. Didn't realise the quals were on. It is a Thursday. You know what? Actually, Tom gave me the green light. Should we community react? Well, we've got 5 minutes. If you give me a moment. Who wants to watch the most scuffed video you've ever seen in your life of me and Sherlock? We have a really awesome scuffed video. We'll be going out on the YouTube on Sunday, but you know what? Since I like you guys, should we give it a watch now as we've got a little bit of time on our hands, shall we? Should we watch Sherlock and nah, Ghost. Valid. Yeah, I assure you, it's a banger. It's a pretty good little bit. It was the last one we were having for the Challenger stories, and you know what? I'm actually going to plug that shamelessly while I've got you all here, and while you've got no choice but to listen to me. It's not an updated graphic, but we're going to roll with it anyway. The Souls. I don't have a Souls Heart jersey, Killer. I don't have a Souls Heart one, so we're rocking the Bliss one. It's pink. It's basically the same colour-ish, mostly. But we have Challenger stories, and Killer, your name is not on this graphic because I haven't updated it from last week yet, but your name will be on this graphic eventually when I get round to updating it for tomorrow. If you aren't aware, folks, I've been doing interviews with people throughout the Six Invitational while we were there in person, asking them about their story with Siege, what they've been doing, how they got to where they're at. People like Killer were on there. Tom J. Sherlock's on there. And all of these lovely faces you see in front of you at the moment right now. Some really awesome people with some really awesome stories. Some great content. That one is over on the YouTube. So if you're not already, you've not checked it out, well, you've got 5-10 minutes. Put the stream on mute. Go watch one of the episodes there. We've got a mix of there. You've got people like Cooley, where we had... He's the coach of Pannuhuone, actually, one of our teams tonight. And we had a really good dive into what the team's kind of expectations are, his ethos for the quals, and how his coaching style and how he's influenced that roster. And then, as you can imagine, we've had some more all over the place episodes, such as the one with Tom, where the camera was literally, I was like, hold on, I'm like this the whole time. I'm like, Tom, just keep rolling, man. It's fine. It's pretty scuffed. But we had some fun content. So if you haven't checked it out, do so. There is a lot of fun stuff there. We're just waiting on to see what the go is of the map veto here. We're just going to sit patiently and wait until I'm told otherwise by official Ben what we can do. Because obviously these players have got places to be. There are things they would like to do, places they have got to be. You know, this is an Audio-Technica headset. This is the BPH-S1, I think it is. I want to say this one is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Bought these for Unilan last year. Bought these to do a Unilan, so the whole thing's portable. You can take it. We've done it in Malta, and we are planning to do similar things again in future regions. It's a nice little headset. I do recommend it, actually. It wasn't too bad in terms of price, nor I don't think the audio quality is horrendous. And if you're like me, if you're someone who likes to stand up while they cast, like a normal desk microphone isn't... a normal desk microphone isn't that good because I'm moving around all the time. Like, sometimes I'm casting and I'm just stood all the way back over here, and it's entirely pointless having a mic there. So it's nice, I can just kind of walk around with this thing and dance and twirl my circles. Maybe we'll have a cast cam one day. That'd be, just have like a little cam up in that corner somewhere, and you just watch down on me when I'm jumping about my room like a maniac because there's games going on. Cooley, you were not following me. Yeah, the earpads aren't the best stock. These are like custom ones off Amazon I bought. Because the stock earpads, they're all right for like 1 or 2 games, but like long term, yeah. We got these like really like bushy ones. Like Golu has the same headset, so if you watch me and him when we're side by side on camera, I think he's got the base ones. They're a lot squishier inwards. These are a bit blockier, yeah, aftermarket type ones. Cooley, I can't believe you weren't following me. This is tragic. I could play your video in revenge. Play your video in revenge. How are you feeling? You should be like prepping the boys right now. But instead, you're here watching the shitpostery, the tomfoolery that will be happening inside of this one. You're feeling confident, ready for tonight? The sound quality on the actual headphones is not the best because they're more of like it's a broadcast headset. So I don't think like the actual quality I get in is as good as probably like a dedicated set of headphones, whereas the it's fine for me because I don't care about what I hear as long as I can hear the game roughly. The positional audio isn't great. I'll give them that. If I'm actually like playing, because this has just become my primary go-to headset now, the positional isn't great. When I got the IEMs in for the Rampage LAN we did last year, so these thingies, where you like put them actually in your ear, it's a night and day difference with these things. You can hear so much more. What are my opinions on an African Pro League? I think that would fall... I don't actually know what region do we have. Would Africa fall under the current system anywhere? I mean, I'm all for more siege. We've just got China. Give us more regions. If so, I don't know if Africa can play under any of our systems at the moment. I don't think they would be able to off memory, but I'm surprised we don't. If there's nothing existing already, it's why I'm surprised it's taken us this long to get to China. And Cooley is locked. The team is locked in. I do love to hear it. I'm waiting on the map VO. Let me just message. Okay, right. We're not going to have a full veto for you folks, unfortunately. But I can tell you the maps. We have Africa servers, but they don't get used. There's the elo trap on there. That's a shame. I want more teams. I want more Siege to watch. If I could just have Siege running 24/7, I'd be a happy man. Now, we can't do... if I can remember my files, if you give me 2 seconds, I may be able to find... I think I made a spare graphic for situations like this, though it might take me 5 seconds to find it. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Broadcast controller, output. It would be... would it be any of these? Maps. Apparently it's called maps. Maps. Okay. Does it show maps? Okay, mute up now. Good cast. Have a good luck, Cooley. Good luck. Best of fun. Have fun with the boys, and hopefully all goes well for you. Okay, we can't see maps, so we're just going to have to pretend that... Yeah, the EML Challenger Circuit expansion, it all actually did seem really, really positive, if you ask me, Ghost. It looks like a lot of fun stuff. I'll be honest, I don't know the ins and outs fully, but we've got the same 3 tournaments we've had all year long. We've got more coming along the side. I'm all here for it. Anyway, Bank was Bank was banned at some point. I'll let you pick which one of those Bank bans is right. It's just so I can show you the graphic of where we're going to be heading to. And that also says the wrong side pick. Go, graphic. Go. Show me. Close enough. Okay, the graphic's not working. We're just going to pretend the graphic does work. Anyway, we are going to be heading to Lair as our map 1. That is the map pick of Bourse. Consulate was the pick of Pannuhuone, and then we're going to be going to Clubhouse should we get there as a decider. We are in best of 3 territory this evening, so we are actually going to have more than just one map to watch. We're going to have a minimum of 2, possibly 3, depending on how things go. So if you're a fan, Lair, I think, is going to be a really fun place to start this series off. We'll see how things pan out from there. Pan out for Pannuhuone. Gotta do it to him. Gotta do it to him. But yeah, if you're not signed up in these quals, I'm going to implore and I'm going to nag people again about it. Sign up to the Challenger Circuit. Rumble qualifiers are the 17th and 18th of March, I believe. Or is it the 18th and 19th? Rumble qualifiers are in March. So go sign up for those. You can bring your 5 stack from ranked. See how you stack up and maybe go make some money. Maybe go make some good plays. Get yourself qualified to the Challenger Circuit playoffs, which is like the T2 finals reinvigorated, I think. And then from the circuit playoffs, you can then go on towards the best bit of it all, which is Challenger Series 2027. And you will be able to eventually qualify for Pro League, because that's what this is all about. That's what these teams are here for tonight. You win this, you go to Pro League. It's quite as simple as that, really. That's how our whole bracket works. You qualify, you win here. You are bound in towards Pro League. Your respective regional league. If you're APAC, you go to APAC League. If you're Brazilian, you go to SAL League, etc, etc, etc. So, obviously, if you do want to make it next year, you can go and give it a free. You never know, Wingdings. You never quite know. We've had some really fun stories outside of this one over the years on who can happen. We've got our favourites, but there's nothing like a good upset story in a good game of Siege. Just got the word in my ear from our wonderful observer for this evening. I'm going to go and give him a shout out, actually, because he deserves one. And I can find his Twitter, if you give me 2 seconds. The wonderful BJ is going to be giving us his lovely skills on the feed tonight. So if you're not already following BJ, please do go give him a follow and some love, because he deserves it. He's an absolute legend for giving us the feed tonight. He'll be controlling the sticks, controlling what feed we're seeing. And it just makes my life easier, because it means I can sit here and yap and just wait until I'm told the game is ready. So it makes our life a lot easier. And also, I am shit at observing. I will be the first to admit it. I'm not a good observer. I'm a caster. I just kind of look and scream. I don't really do this thinking part. That's for that's for like Golu to do. That's for our observers to do. So go give some love to our observers. Yeah, BJ's got a Wikipedia page now, which is, it's so swell to see, like, what I would call kind of my year of talent, I suppose. Sort of like the lot that kind of, because BJ started observing roughly around the same time I started. I think he wasn't too far behind me, so it's really nice to see people getting that sort of recognition and really getting that go on through. Because yeah, he started observing Challenger Series last year is the earliest it goes on Wikipedia, so a couple months behind. But yeah, it's just really nice to see sort of everyone getting their roses, if you like, and really starting to make do on the Wikipedia, and hopefully for all of us, really cool things coming up. So roster on the side of Bourse. I believe I have the correct one on the graphic. We have Kiosk, Might, Jin. I'm just going to go with MZ Jin, Wazeka, and then we have Crocodile, so we have Crocodile instead of Yoshiru, which is Bibu, I believe Crocodile is, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Crocodile is Bibu. Yeah, Crocodile's Bibu. So 4 out of 5 on there. Roughly right. And we are a couple of minutes away from getting the game underway. Cannot wait. It's hopefully going to be a really, really good Swiss stage, this one, because qualifiers, they were fun. Qualifiers are always good fun, but if you ask me, the real test of quality comes in the best of 3s. Plus, we've got more teams now. Heretics are in the fold. Pannu are in the fold. There's so many good teams, so many good games coming through tonight, and honestly, I really, really hope that all of you folks at home are ready for this evening, because it's going to be a really, really fun one. I'm going to keep you up, try and keep you updated where I can on scores of other games. Of course, other streamers are available. Please do go and choose your preferred community caster. We're going to have a banger. It's going to be a good little evening. We can hope. Let's see. So we were given 1820, right? Well, I think they're just about ready. So let's get looking at the map. Let's see what we've got to offer us. Lair, Pannuhuone, our reigning T2 champions, going up against the underdog story of Bourse. Euro Papa, I do not actually know, Ghost, what happened with them. All I know is they forfeited their spot. Don't know why. They just did. So they're not playing in these qualifiers, and I believe Order of the Shield bumped up, took their place. Good evening, Rain. Welcome on in. You're just ready in time for the action to get underway. Let's say, the reigning champions here in T2 have had a little bit of a break. They've been able to sit back, watch these guys play in the open qualifiers. And as for Bourse, they've got a lot to prove to them tonight, and arguably one of the toughest opponents you could ask for inside of this game. But both teams are ready. We're getting into it. We're kicking things off on Lair for the start of the Swiss stage here. Pannuhuone versus Bourse. Am I going to meow? No. I'm not going to meow. Hey, look, the graphics work. The bar at the top of the screen works. That's amazing. Good job. High five, Travis. I love it when graphics work as intended. I've not actually tested it with Best of Freeze yet, the little like production manager thingy, so I'm glad it actually works out. As for the bands though, Montaigne, Asami, default bans. We get rid of the shields. We do not like shields. Pannu do like to ban shields. I don't like to play shields. Shields upset me. Shields hurt. When it's like a Blackbeard swinging around the corner and I see him pop his little shield down, I just close my eyes, look up to the sky, and accept that time my fate has come. We're not doubling down on them, though. The other side gets their turn to ban a clash on through. I mean, one of the players of Euro Papa, because Jex was playing on Euro Papa, was he not? And he's now here inside of the Pannuhuone roster, who are not playing with their sub tonight. They're playing with their full five, starting off on the defense. Now, Mira, having survived that ban phase, she's immediately going to be picked on through. There is absolutely zero surprise there. Face those mirror windows out towards the operations side. Just try and create as many chokeholds as you can. Use those Syria gates, those trip connectors. Really build that utility kind of up so you have that kind of potential to stall things off, really. I like it. Quite looking forward to seeing the utility here. Quite looking forward to seeing the lineup. Obviously, I think it was a last-minute change for Pannu, so they're not going to be as well formed as they would have liked, but equally it's still the same core of the roster. It's still the same majority of players, so fingers crossed for them. It all goes well. And as for the Bourse, it's pretty much the same roster we saw throughout the entirety of the qualifier stage.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm really hoping, got my fingers crossed, they put on a good show for us. Now, I want a free mapper. I don't want to start things off with a 2-0. I don't want to start things off with a quick day, with quick games. I want some bangers. I like this. Use the Rooney. Make sure that you can't take down that mirror window all too easily. Now, none of our changed operators in terms of balancing. On defense-wise, aren't going to be played. On the attack, though, we do have that Flores. He's not bringing the LMG, although does now have the T95 as an option available to him. But we're sticking with the old reliable, the AR-33 inside of this one. And so far, 40 seconds in, nice, peace and quiet, but as Mike kind of just treks in towards operational side, I have a feeling that's all about to change. Drone on in, you're going to spot the player playing the 90 there. You're going to yellow ping them on out, anticipating the swing coming in from the external doorway. It's the Rooney on the DMR, a valuable operator to hold on to. So one, you're going to want to try and keep alive. Swing on out, get punished, trying to take down the Blackbeard. Bibu strikes first, shutting down Lambe. C4 pre-placed, thrown up in the air, but no one's at home. It's going to miss the mark. And unfortunately, just means that Jegs is just going to have to give that space on away. Now, the Deimos self-sufficiently droning himself through the bottom floor there, realising there's someone watching them on the vertical, caught in a gunfight with this one on below. You have no choice here but to try and take out this 1v1. Nikkei, going to take a little bit of damage, decides to fall on back, just retreat, give up the space here. The longer he can play this cat and mouse game on the bottom floor, the better off his team is, the more pressure they feel alleviated, and more importantly, the longer Jegs can hold on towards this mirror window. Jin finds Nisu. That's another pick going in the direction of Bourse. Pannuhuone 3 versus 5 now. And the issue is you've got this Flores who's taking control inside of the objective. They do have the pings, they do have the knowledge, they know he's in there. Jegs fights back with the first one onto Keok, shuts them down. Drop shot, crossfire being held up, a double swing. Jin has no choice there but to succumb to his life. 3 versus 3, equaliser found by Pannuhuone. Does Bourse decide to go? No, we don't need to push this, we can just let this be. and they hide. They stall down the pressure. Interrupted there by the defense of Pannu. Some really good strikes back to just isolate those two. That perhaps bit off a little bit more than they can chew, and then remnants of the team now going to be making their way across mezzanine. Supported by the Blackbeard leading the charge, using the information on the Deimos when time comes. No doubt about it. Jegs behind the desk with C4 in hand has been spotted out by the Blackbeard. Now finds himself in a very difficult position here, relying on the help of his teammates. Forced out by the frag grenade straight into the line of sight. Will be taken on out by Might. 2v3 situation now. Pannuhuone comes up to Rastin, decides to try and get a bit aggressive, but unfortunately the shield blocks the bullets. In a situation where they can try and facilitate a plant right now. They know where the Nari is, and now with the death mark, the castle as well. Difficult situation, difficult retake lies ahead for Pannuhuone. Going to try and swing on through to mezzanine, not going to be able to take it. Well, Zeka finds it. 1v3 situation, it's Bibu with his second, and Bourse get their first one on the board. Good round. I like that from Bourse. I was a bit worried when it went from a 5 versus 3 to a 3v3. Then I was a bit like, uh-oh. But they held their nerve pretty well there, Bourse. Credit to them. Pull things out. E2 says we are Pannuhuone. I do like Pannuhuone. Does Pannuhuone actually mean anything? This has always been an eternal question in my head. I could solve it with Google search, but the mystery's significantly more fun. What does Pannuhuone mean? They're a Finnish team, so I'd assume it means something in Finnish. It means duck. Yorick Bibu is crocodile. Crocodile AF is Bibu AF. I don't know if it's a rebranding thing, a naming thing. We know players sometimes just like to confuse people and play under not their normal names.
5 seconds left before insertion.
We had Cypher playing on Diavoli. Pannuhuone means boiler room.
Objective is to locate a bomb and defuse.
That's a choice. Boiler room. That's an interesting decision. I don't mind that one. We had a team last week called The Disease, and I believe they were French teams, so it was Le Maladie or something like that, off memory. They were really fun to watch. I think it was actually ex-console guys on that team, if I'm not mistaken. They were a really entertaining team, actually. Unfortunately not here in Swiss stage, but you have some fun team names inside of this game. Basement defense, Pannu this time around. Go on towards the bottom corner. Now, they've got to be careful with these roamers not to get too segmented out by the Aurora. That's exactly why she's going to be picked onto here, to try and use those Dom panels to deny any flanks, deny any shenanigans from the defense. They do like quite an aggressive game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them try some shenanigans at one point in time, and well, that's what those Dom panels are there to kind of prevent that from happening. Not to mention you've got the gridlock track stingers as well for that flank watch. Blackbeard on the front line though, that's what's more important in the present moment, because he's just getting hailed with bullets. Now, you do have Wazeka on the back on the gridlock, maybe in a position where they can come in and support, apply some pressure, but they're not aware of Lambe. Rastin lights up with another one. Sure, there will be a trade made on back, but that initial kill leaves it with Pannuhuone in the advantage seat. More importantly so, Diffuser, Cold Stone Ice on this first floor now needs to be recovered by the attack. Halfway through the round remaining to play here. And if you can see the positions of Bourse, they're all a little bit isolated. They're all a little bit on their own. Need to take a moment to just regroup, rendezvous, connect up with one another. Wazeka going to be able to find Jegs. Lambe, though, strikes back immediately, keeping the advantage in the way of the defense. 60 seconds left now to avert crisis. Really, it all comes down here to clearing Lambe. What can he do from this position? You know exactly where he is, tucked inside a briefing. And he's now at that point in the round where, in the man advantage, he can just play his life, although he won't play it for long. Shut on down, but then there's the trade. There's the response. Nifsu brings it all up to Bibu. 40 seconds on the clock now. Got the Reaper in hand. I do love this thing. But especially when you've got to break a barricade like this, it just gives your position away. Pannuhuone know exactly what's expected. With 3 Toxic Babes still to burn, there's not really many ways in from this point onwards. There goes the Toxic Babe. There goes the Vulcan canister. Luckily that door is not fired. Luckily that door is not trapped out. 15 seconds remaining on the clock here. Unfortunately for Bourse, it's going to be a little bit of a quiet end towards this round. Just going to stand out here and just wait for the clock. 2-hit 0. You swing in, you will probably die. That's a good hunch, but you're going to go for it anyway. Straight on through into the shotgun of Nifsu. Claims it up. Pannuhuone will find their first. Good round. Yet again, I like the aggression we're seeing from these Siege. They're very fast, very pacey Siege. Now, this is the map pick of Bourse. Do keep in mind, they chose to come here. They wanted to play this one. Do that information as you will. So there is always that expectation. They will do a little bit better. There is always that expectation. They will kind of be a little bit better on this map than their opponents. They should win it. They wanted to be here after all. And you've also had a few days now where you've known your opponent. That's the big thing. You've known your opponent. You've known exactly who you're going to be fighting for a little while now. So you should have that kind of expectation in mind of what you're going to go. Now, interestingly, Lair was one of those maps where it wasn't too popular in the open qualifiers, to be fair. It never really is in best of ones. It's, to me, one of those best of 3 maps. You're only really likely to see it in these BO3s, in these kind of larger games where you get to pick a little bit earlier onwards. And that's fine. Lair's a good map. I'm an avid enjoyer and defender of this map. I think it's a lot of fun. But I see why you don't want to play in the best of 1. And we've got ourselves a nice little veto. Clubhouse on the end as a decider. Whew, banger. Clubhouse is good. Really good decider. Just that kind of foundational test. It will really separate who is the better team here today. So, mwah, chef's kiss having that sort of as your decider one. A lot on the shields here from Bourse. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Blackbeard ban coming in after this round. Of course, after round 3, you do get that opportunity to take him off, restrict him from access. Going to creep his way on through now. But he can't push solo. He's going to need some support behind him. That's the big difference right now. Might is entirely isolated at the moment. You do have Keox on the balcony not too far away, granted, but you're going into 3 members of Pannuhuone who have a very intricate setup here on this top floor, as is essential of this kind of bunk side hold. You need to make sure that you've got your crosses held, you've got some support. They drone out the player on the main staircase, so Mike's going to have the information, but he can't push on his own here. He's effectively held in check for the moment. Needs to wait for that that courtyard wall to open on up. And then Keox the ace can come apply some support, come and give him a hand. But Pannuhuone, they're just going to reel back, give away nothing. Slowly fall on through. Put the shield out yet again, but you say you can't really take that one. This is going to be a key gunfight here. Lumbe really want him for it, but the strategy is sound here from Pannu. Don't give away anything you don't need to. Just play safe, just play your life. Well, Mike ups the pressure. Rastin gets ready in a little bit of a rat corner, but his days in it might be numbered. He has to make a move. Does he go for the swing? Does he go into a corner? Tucked inside with an SMG-11. Perfect for a quick kill when no one's looking the right way. He's in a great spot right now, and if Bourse push a little bit too deep, they're going to find themselves in the deep end very, very quickly. Deathmark comes on through. It's not the player you were hoping to see. Selma charge caught on the wall. They're aware of the player in the corner, though. Wazeka able to shut down Rastin. Immediately, kills coming back on through. Nifsu with a double. Lambe with a third. And Bourse suddenly find themselves on the back foot here. Try to catch one more player here on the top floor. Jegs from underneath will shut down Bibu. It's all up to MZ Jin now. In a 1v4 situation as Jin, well, there's not a lot you can do from here. You can go on forward, you can try and pick your ones. Pannu, they've picked 2 players to stay on the top floor, 2 to go down underneath. All entrances, all possibilities are covered for them. It's just a matter of time there. Very good round from the Finnish side. A beautiful example of how to play aggressive and kind of keep your opponents from being able to take too much ground without actually taking... You look in that round. Pannuhuone took remarkably few gunfights in the first half of that round. Even though they were being pressured for quite a lot of it, they actually didn't really take all too many gunfights inside of that one. They were actually pretty patient with themselves, just kind of falling back when they got pressured a little bit too much. And Bourse were just playing ball, playing the game. Not going to be a Blackbeard ban. Actually going to be the Ace ban coming on through. Letting them play the shields. Pannuhuone quite comfortable to play around the American. Bourse more than happy to bring it to the table. Round number 4, first one of our second quarter, right underway. And we will be returning to the top floor. The one site that Pannuhuone have not been able to defend so far, the one that is considered the primary bomb site. We have confidence that maybe second time around things might work out a little bit better for them. We're not seeing the mirror this time. Instead, we're actually going to be seeing the castle, which is interesting. She's not been banned out, so you could still pick her technically should you have wanted to, but no, you're going to be going on towards the castle. Well, what does he bring? He brings the doorway stoppage there, really. And more importantly, you don't have to open up courtyard. You can see Pannuhuone have immediately changed their approach to this site. They're reinforcing off that courtyard wall, protecting it with a mute jammer, and sure, well, it probably will eventually get opened by Bourse. It's not going to have to be something you're worried about in the back of your mind until they get it open. Thermite with that kind of golden buff recently given to him in the fact that he's got 3 exothermic charges now. Can do a whole lot of damage. There's a lot of capability he can do, so going to be a good one to see how it all unfolds, but very much 2 rounds in a row to their name. Pannuhuone slowly building up a little bit of steam in this one. Bourse will probably want to take this round to keep things tied, but equally so. If we can get a second somewhere out of this half, they're doing all right for themselves. Those mute jammers, though, will be a pickle to deal with on the side of that Rotero. Drones. Rastin seemingly wanting to challenge the front door there. We'll spot the drone take it out before it can do any damage. Suit, though, does give away his position. Decker from weapons. Opens up the door into the missile silo. Puts the death mark on towards that Wamai there. He's in a little bit of rough air right now. Throws the impact grenade. Takes down Might. Oh, what a shot. Nifsu. You can't be doing that to him. And I think Bibu slaps down the hammer of the law there. Shuts him down in the head. Beautiful trade. Back. I'd take that one. You've lost your Blackbeard. And all they got out of it was a Wamai. So it's one I'd say you're quite happy, quite willing to take. You spot the player on that little bit of a cheeky position behind. It's Lambe. He's off upstairs. He's gone. He doesn't want to engage with that anymore. Spotted out. You're vulnerable. You don't have an opportunity to trade on your own. Get back to the site. Get back to your team. Support the front line. 80 seconds left of this round here. And Bourse just slowly chipping away at the site, getting towards the walls now. They need to try and look at taking some ground here because that's been their biggest issue inside of this round. They've not really been able to take a significant amount of ground, and when they try to go through main, Jegs is up above, takes them down. Frag grenade up, but ultimately, it's actually going to get the pick. Bibu with another. Flips the advantage back the other direction. Pannuhuone now left trailing inside of this one. 50 seconds left to go on the clock here. Plenty of time for the defense to try and work things out. EK spotted. Lambe prone behind a sofa with a C4. Now, I don't think they're quite aware he's there. Never mind, a drone comes in on the right, spots him out. He's in a tough position. With the wall being opened on up, just has to fall a little bit further backwards. And watch out as well. You've got that Capital, you've got those fire bolts. He can flush you out of those positions as and when he likes. Smoke's going to be thrown on through towards the objective now, but it's actually going to be behind the wall there where the plant goes down. You have to put off it, though, because Nikkei strikes back while you're looking the wrong way. Making it a 2v2 difficult situation now for Bourse as they have to try and stick this defuse on down. C4 goes up, catches Bibu. Leaves it all down to Icox with no choice now but to push on forwards, get aggressive, try and find something. He spots the feet of one, able to down Lambe. Has to now stick to defuse, no choice but to hold F, maintain on it. Forced around by the fire here. You have the direct pings on towards his position. And while he'll be able to stick the defuse on down, he can't win the gunfight. Pannuhuone. I think a little bit scrappier than maybe they would have liked. Good round for them. And more importantly, course corrected on the top floor. Now, they've shown they can defend it. They've shown they can get the job done. 3-1, our scoreline will sit. Fun little end of round scrap there. That one was. That's the wrong round replay. This is the right round replay. There we go. Having a great time with the replay systems tonight. Look at that. A little bit of panic ensued there. Crap, he's off the diffuser. Quickly got to shoot him. That could have been disastrous quite quickly there for the Finns. 30 seconds on the prep phase timer. Down back towards the basement here. And Pannu, I think they're going to rely on what's worked well for them so far. They're just going to play around that clock, play around that time. Bourse, they have a very slow, steady style of siege that they're kind of playing inside of this one. They like to be aggressive, but it hasn't always really historically worked for them in this one. I think they're at their best when they're taking things a little bit slower. They just need to be careful not to let that clock bite them in the butt, because we've seen it happen once or twice for them so far. Just got to watch themselves, just got to be careful.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and
As I said earlier, a second round out of this half would really be the requirement for me, and what I would consider to be kind of a good showing, a good half from them. I want to see 2. I want to see that second one. Make sure they can go. They're not leading the 5-1 down as they go in towards the defense.
Swapping mags!
Spot the player here, isolated out in the bunks. It's going to be Rastin. Dancing around here, holding a line, but I think he's just biting off a little bit more than he can chew there. Just taking a little bit too much off, getting a bit too confident, and will pay the price for it. Shut on down, no one around to kind of facilitate that clapback support or trade. And it puts your team in an early 4v5, one that you really do not want to be finding yourself in, because it puts a lot of pressure on these remaining roamers, on this remaining extension. Laney just Jegs and Nifsu at this point to actually get some kills to, before they dip back to the objective as an inevitability, take some people down with them. And it'll have to be more. They can't just go 1 for 1 here. They have to go 2 for 1 at a minimum if they want to throw their team back into an equal position, possibly more than that, but ultimately, it could be that 6th defender, that clock that relies upon. Locked in now to Armory by those track stingers. Nifsu will just throw Toxic Babes, trying to alleviate some of that pressure found on towards him. Been slowly creeping up here, wants to find a pick. Rest of the Bourse focusing on the vertical, one directly on stock inside the side itself. Here comes Nikkei, wants to go close for it. Was Zeka's expecting a spray, expected a little bit of action, but won't be able to win out the gunfight just quite. Jegs falls elsewhere. 3v4 position now.
Let's have a look. Target
Bourse in quite a good spot for themselves here. 60 seconds, you still got the shield, that very aggressive spearhead for the assault. Exothermic on towards the lockers. Wall will catch one, almost loses his head there to Nifsu. Got to watch out, got to be careful. Now is where the gunfight emerges, where the pressure's going to emerge. You've got to be careful of that vertical there. You've got to wait for Lambe to strike, and strike he does. Makes things a 3 versus 3 situation now, relying on the site hold to be good for them. 30 seconds, Toxic Babes can't whittle the whole thing down. You're going to need to get some picks, some kills along the way. Spray out with the SMG-11. Find the elbow of one, do a lot of damage on towards Might, but he's able to win that 1 versus 1 there, coming out alive. Nikkei does clap back one towards Keox, 2v2 situation right now, but a defuse needs to be established here for the Bourse. They have no choice but to try and stick this one on down. Needs to come up huge. Nikkei has to ping on towards one, just decides to go deep instead, but no, can't deny the defuse with the shield. Luckily though, Lambe's there to pick up the pieces. Pannuhuone will get their next round on the board. And good, cool, calm composure there. Yet again, it's that clock factor. It's that last little bit there for the side of Bourse where they get to the end of the round and things are just a struggle for them. Unable to get the job done. Will fall just a little bit short. Ryder, unfortunately, we do not have drops on this stream, so you'll have to go and watch someone else who does have the drops enabled on their channel. I know there are drops available for the first week, but no drops here. We're just getting like, we're just dropping lines of siege. Lambe is dangerous. I'm loving the kind of ratty play style he's had this game. He's been quite a few rat spots, just kind of been a nuisance. He's been playing that role really well. I've been enjoying it. Been a really fun game to watch, actually, so far. Really interesting to kind of see this kind of clash of play styles and more. How Pannu are just really, really good at wasting just enough time there to force Bourse into tricky situations.
5 seconds left.
You saw in that previous round there how there was that difficulty of the operators weren't quite able to get things out. As a 2v2, you give them another 20 seconds, it probably favours the attack because of the shield, but because of the time you have to force down a plant and it just doesn't go well for you there. So We have reports of missing voice lines from the unnamed gamer, one of our other observers tonight. I believe covering the Gigiletti game with Jurgen, or Uwugan, as the chat will refer it to. No worries, Ryder. Go get your drops, come back. We've got best of 3, so we've got at least one more map of this afterwards. So, thank you for your compliments, and hopefully we'll see you around. And we're live all weekend. There's so much Siege going on through. Has a lot of exothermic? Ex-Kairos charges. Courtyard wall. Opened up nice and early, and Lambe on a very aggressive angle there. Hoping to try and catch someone off guard. Light goes down. There goes your Blackbeard. Lambe spotted away in his right position, has to fall on back, does a little bit of damage towards Keox there, but ultimately it's all about, as I say, it's that clock. It's just waste down the time, let things go, whittle things down, little bit by bit, chip by chip, you will eventually crumble the castle. Saying goes something like that, I'm pretty sure. Not master of English, barely speak the language. Users recovered on Skybridge. The Labors continue to engage this top floor. Well, they're probably likely going to have to. It's a tertiary bomb site now. You need this vertical control. We've seen it countless times. Team tried to go for a plant underneath, and especially without the cover of smoke grenades, it's difficult to stick. Bibu falls to Lambe. 7-2 so far this half, and Lambe is not done swinging out just yet, but Jegs from below takes down Kios. Jin and Wazeka left now to deny the 5-1 half. 60 seconds on the clock. We'll need to try and split. We'll need to try and isolate this top floor position. Good first pick there. Shut down Lambe. You know there's one inside the vault. You can throw the frag grenade on through. Expecting the anticipation, expecting the response from inside of R6. No one else is going to give you the time of day, though. Pannuhuone doing a very good job of just holding their nerve right now. Not swinging out too much more than you really need to do so. And while shots are being exchanged back and forth here, they're only favouring the defence. Pannuhuone, nice clean cloud out to the half. Ghost. Deadshot was playing for Secret Academy at the weekend, he was. And then they've got they've got Lebs back, have they? Okie dokie. Because Secret Academy, the first weekend of qualifiers, I hope I don't offend anyone by saying this, they did not look up to par. Secret Academy were not, in my opinion, up to snuff. What I expected from them that first weekend of quals. They swapped the Lems for Deadshot weekend 2, and Chef's Kiss. They looked really, really good again. They won the first Saturday qualifier, and then the second one came out swinging at the gates on the Sunday, looking much better. I'm surprised to see them do that swap back, but I always say this is it's a good cop out answer. Equally, also as it's a very true point. I feel as well sometimes. I trust the teams, they're players for a reason. I'm a caster for a reason. I don't know how this game works very well. I'm just here because it's fun. These guys know what's going on inside of them. If they have to make a roster move or choose to make a roster move, I trust they're making the best possible decision at the time for themselves. Speaking of roster moves as well, Jex is having a pretty good start here on this game. 5-4, his debut with this roster, may I add, to the table. So it's his first time seeing playing an official in regards to this team. Lambe and Nikkei though. 15-4 between them. Over a 3 KD. Lights out performance. On the defense, Wazeka has had a pretty good game so far, considering the round count 5-5 is an impressive stat line to hold. Bibu as well, been playing fairly solidly. Rest of the team, though, I do hope to see him step up a little bit more in this second half here. As you say, you lose that first half 5-1. Now Pannuhuone find themselves only 2 rounds away from taking the map. More importantly, what does that mean? It means they can only win the tertiary bomb sides. Labors win their primary, Labors win their secondary. Pannu take the tertiary. You play the rotation twice. Scoreline ends 7-5. In Labors, at some point in this half, we'll need to complete a full site rotation, the full trifecta, without dropping one. Tall ask, granted, but certainly not impossible. Montaigne's starting to apply some pressure. Yellow ping goes on through. Doesn't quite find the mark on the C4, unfortunately. Hard breach charge. Bibu just having to fall back a little bit. Montaigne can claim a little bit more space. It's a game of spaghetti. It's a game of inches, not miles here inside of this one. Just bit by bit. Same way Pannuhuone were just kind of slowly chipping away at the defense. They're now going to be slowly chipping away out the attack. Almost halfway through and yet to find a kill either way. A lot of time wasting utility on the side of Bourse right now. Kiox and Mike both going to be bringing operators. That kind of stall things out. Toxic Babe, Shamika Launcher, and you're going to put these to use on here. Choke points like this staircase. You can immediately see here, this Montaigne trying to bait someone to get a bit aggressive. You want this player to push you down so your teammate can come and claim the kill. Wazeka realises, hey, maybe that's not a great idea. Throws the C4, doesn't hit its mark. And gives the space over to the shield to get a little bit more aggressive. But you have to be careful supporting this shield coming up behind him because that is still a shotgun. Even with a shield there, it's very likely to just blow your face right off as soon as you get there. But he's doing such a good job. He's got no support behind him until I just say it. And he's still got no support behind him. But he still manages to get one anyway. Jin will shut him down, but not before he can take out Wazeka. Lambe down on the staircase as well. You mop around, you pick up the kill. And more importantly, you escape, you run for your life. Denied a trade from Pannuhuone, leaving things 3 versus 3. I say that, Rastin on the long angle there will find the equaliser. Rasbot from Bibu going to be droned on out, forced on back. Behind the mirror window now. Fairly default plant position, immersion for Pannuhuone. Get the hard breach charge on towards the mess wall. You've got those RAU projectors to cover things. It's that mirror window. That's the big difficulty right now. How do you shake that player? How do you move that position? Because as far as Bibu's concerned, he's pretty comfortable there. The Bourse realise backstab's your best option to dislodge in the mirror window, so they're going to turn eyes towards the back. They're going to be looking on through, but time's working against the attack right now. They have to be the ones to make a move. They have to be the ones to get aggressive. Light projectors, light walls go up. You spot the mirror, but no, you can't win the gunfight on out. Pre-fire through the wall. You'll be able to find it, but do you have the time to stick to the fuser down? No choice now but to hold F right in the middle of the site. It's not the place you want to be. A double kill from Might on the Tachanka and La Bourse. Start off this half pretty darn well. And a real big stall out there from the side of Pannu. Really big stall out. Just unable to really work out how to get from that midpoint. They got really well for themselves, and then it got to that second point, and then it's like, how do we actually stick that defuse down? As you saw, right in the middle of everything, right? Not in a great position. It was confidence. Cooley calls it aura. Don't know if that's the term I'd use to describe it, but sometimes these situations you're just forced to do what you have to do, and I think it's a little bit of a case of the light projectors working against you there. In towards...
10 seconds left.
Sorry, all of our observers are upset there's no voice lines, which is valid. I respect that result.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
We're lucky. Apparently, we can hear some of the voice lines. Apparently, some of the observers have no voices whatsoever. Like, no, not even like a reloading. Don't even have that. But what's the point of this game if you can't even hear Thermite talking about holes and how he wants to carve holes in walls and stuff? What's the point? Well, Rook, say take some serious. I've not seen Rook in ages. Can someone pick Rook? Just so I've seen him, my boy. Please, someone play Rook. Ooh, Zeka. Run away, my dear. Run away. Not a good spot. Takes the gunfight with Jegs. Trade amount of damage either way, but Lambe right behind. Yet again. Lambe's just all over the place. He's exactly where you don't want him to be if you're La Bourse. He's just in the most annoying spots. He's playing that kind of role in the game where it's like, it makes you want to punch a hole in your monitor. Was Zeka down? Bibu now forced to go on up. Try and claim something back on the aggression. Does have to ping on towards one on that top floor. I believe that's the striker of Lambe. You know exactly where he's there. But instead, I think you're just going to have to be careful. The more you commit to this top floor if you're La Bourse, the less you leave at home. And I think Pannuhuone may have grown wise to the fact that something may go on through. What you do is you have you have Lambe up above on the striker to hold ground. And then you could just theoretically try and force a half take here and pick him up in and amidst the chaos. Jegs find the first. Bibu trying to scavenge and pick up the pieces here, but he's not exactly aware of 100% where he should be looking right now. Whether he hears it or not, he's going to hear the player sprinting on through. It's a game of angles, but right now the angles are certainly favouring Pannuhuone. 3v5 position, utility thrown on in towards the objective. Might first one on the front line here, but he's going to be faced up with a shield immediately, forced out by the flashbang, completely blinded out, will retreat on back, but the yellow pings, the information's perfectly there. It's just going to keep being fed on through, and more importantly, look at the clock, look at the time. Pannuhuone have it all, but what they don't have is a read on this flank until Jegs gets the trade right on back. Lambe with another. Pannuhuone on towards a map point for themselves now. Much better work on that attack there. Significantly better for themselves. Secret Academy have returned to form 2-5 against Turks. Hear me out, right? Turks could be a sleeper hit this tournament. Genuinely speaking, Turks have... I've not actually casted one of their games. I really want to this weekend. But from the clips I've seen, and from the little bits I've seen of them, they've looked significantly better this weekend. Like, they have been practicing in that off-season. I don't know whether it's just Slim Shady 1v1 buff, if you want to call it that. Turks have been in the trenches. They've been playing in every single tournament. They've been always there. Like, if you look last year back at a T2 tournament, I think there was very, very few ones that they were not at least trying to play in quals for. They were always there, always competing, and just the quantity of that experience. They've come out the gate swinging here in the quals, and I genuinely wouldn't feel robbed if they made T1, honestly, this year. I think it's a stretch. They've got some very tough competition, but Turks have genuinely looked really, really good from what I've seen of them, and I really want to cast them this weekend because I actually want to get my grips on it. And I wait until I've got Golu to actually kind of break it down properly for you folks, because as you can tell, I'm not much of a colour caster. I don't really know the game that level. But play by player, just shout. Who are my favourites to make it? Heretics, Pannu probably would be my two picks. Gigiletti, not far behind. Looking at the rest of the list, obviously you do have that. I want to see how the ex-Wolfswaster plays. They're playing UAIM right now, certified skids. We've got quite a few strong teams inside this, but I'd probably say there's your favourites, but then you've got your teams that are like floating around there. You've probably got 4 or 5 of them, but what we don't have is a lot of players left in the server. Pannuhuone say enough is enough, charge on through, sprinting straight down in towards the objective, and look at this! Bourse. They've done exactly what we were worried about them doing in the previous round and just forfeited all control upstairs. Pannuhuone have noticed in the sails in the wind. Charging in, got the defuse on down. Now a difficult retake awaits the final 2 players. Forced out by the frag grenade to peek the long angle, but it's not a favourable gunfight to take, especially with the Scorpion. Especially when you're blind also. So we flip things over towards Bibu, who now, coincidentally, last man standing, faced up with a Blackbeard. Well, all he can do is hope and pray. Maybe he gets one. Shield would be nice, but 10 seconds to get to that defuse kit. 3 players, Pannuhuone circling you, and this one, it's done, it's finished. The Finns, they will take map number 1 of our series. A great result from them inside of this one. Yeah, nice and decisive finish, should I say. 7-2, clean victory, clean cut one to find. And see here, poor old Bibu, not a significant amount he can really do for himself. So with that being said, Pannuhuone, map winners indeed. Congratulations to them, 1-0 up inside of the series. The Duck gives the thumbs up. I'm glad Yorick got the joke. Decisive finish. I'm glad someone got that. Pannuhuone though, what a great result from them. 1-0 up inside of this series. Good stuff. Good stuff from them indeed. So with that, 7-2 will be the scoreline set. And we prepare ourselves for Consulate. It's going to be a fun map. It's going to be a really, really spicy one, although I am just going to throw things off to a very quick break, very short break. But don't worry, I'm not leaving you in the void. I'm not leaving you in the empty hands. You guys get to go and have a chat with Lastfire, the social media manager for Chiefs. Big Siege fan. I'm sure many of you will know him. So let's go see what he had to say at the Invitational.
Welcome back to the Challenger Stories, folks. We are here with another episode today with the Lastfire. Lastfire, to folks at home that might not know you, please introduce yourself.
I am Lastfire. I work for Chiefs, an Australian esports club. I'm their social media manager guy.
Social media guy, so making memes, various shenanigans, causing, stirring the pot a little bit online.
Yeah, trying to be a little annoying, but like the good annoying.
There's a good amount there. Host finds that amount. Host is quite good at finding that.
Trying to match the Australian vibe, which basically means being a... Can I swear?
We'll bleep out.
I shit cunt.
Okay, that'll make the cut. That's fine. So, how did you get into Siege first, before all of this social media stuff? How'd you get in the game?
Well, I moved to Australia on a complete whim to study after, my studies in America being kind of weird. So I decided, you know what? Let's just go to Australia. I don't know anybody. Let's just go to Australia. I ended up going there, and I was like, you know what? I need some friends. I need to figure something out. Like, I just need people to talk to.
Yeah.
Joined their esport club, and they asked me, what do you play? And I said Rainbow Six, and they're like, oh, good. We have like 5 teams in Rainbow Six. You could join the shit one, right?
Lovely. Yeah.
We did excellent as the garbage team.
As the garbage
Everybody was like, oh, damn. They bumped us to second, like out of the 5 teams, and then did well there. We're the only team to ever have another uni above us, if that makes sense. Wait, like the only uni with 2 teams in the playoffs is how
you had multiple teams going there. So you did well for yourself.
That's never happened in the Aussie League, the Aussie Uni League.
And then transitioning from that player role, where do you land then today, social media management?
So, a German dude by the name of Dispa, he contacted me and said, hey, do you want to work for Wildcard? Because I cannot stand being up when not the Americans, when the Aussies are up. So can you talk to the Australian team when I'm sleeping? And I was like, sure, why not? I can do that. And it just moved on from there.
Just moved on from there, and now with Chiefs, I'm presuming looking into APL next year, all the big leagues, big stuff. What's the next thing? I could probably guess your answer for this one. In the esports roadmap, all that. What's the one thing that's really excited you out of that all?
I mean, Japan. Asia
Easy
finally,
answer.
APAC finally has something.
They have a major. And you're going to be there, I'm guessing.
I am going to be there.
You're going to be there. And Chiefs are going to be there?
I better be.
Better.
I'd love to work it. I'd love to be there, yapping, being on that side of the camera, doing all that stuff.
One final question. The most special thing about all of this, the work you do, what's number 1 on that list for you?
I mean, it has to be just meeting people. It has to be talking to people that I'm like, you've always been a name and barely ever a face. And then having somebody being like, hey, Lastfire, I know you. You're like, I'm this guy. And I'm like, that feeling of, a friend being real is...
It's weird, isn't it? We're playing with people from all across the world and all together here in one building, celebrate our love for this game. And well, hopefully, we'll be seeing you again at the majors next year, at the Invitational. Thank you very much for joining me on such short notice as well. Appreciate it, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Nice little short break there. It's the last fire coming out in clutch. He agreed to that interview about 20 seconds before we filmed it. Like it was me, Die, Whip It, and we just done an interview for someone else who's going to be on the show later this weekend as well. So we were all just kind of hanging around. I say, like, last fire you're here, do you just want to do it? Like, as you're here, you know, you're a name in the Siege scene. Do you want to come along and just sit? And he shared his thoughts. I love it. That's what that kind of series was all about. Just capturing the stories, capturing the Siege, and now we get to capture a little bit more Siege, a little bit of drama, a little bit of fun. A 7-2 was the scoreline for map number 1. So quite a quick game, quite a decisive map 1 there. I think Bourse really struggling with their timings, late round on attack, converting their early round successes, which, to their credit, there were some of there. There was definitely a decent amount there, into wins. And Pannuhuone, just from that 5-1 half, I think just able to brute force the game over the line. Credit to him, great job, but hopefully map 2 ties just a little bit closer, so do get your predictions in. You bet on the underdogs, I'm sure you can possibly cash out quite big. So we have a couple of moments until our second game of the evening is underway. Pannuhuone, as I say, 7-2 on their first map, 1-0 up in the series. We are best of threes, so as you will expect, it is going to be very speedy, very much longer games. Now, before we get ready to go in towards our second map for the evening, I do have a score update in terms of some Pannuhuone 1. Yes, Antin. Pannuhuone 1-0 up. Bourse are on the back foot now. On their opponent's map pick as well, no less. Pannuhuone chose to go cons, so this could be a fun one. Heretics 7-0 Al Ula. They are 1-0 up in their respective series. That was a 7-0. And in terms of results, I think that's kind of all it is. I think most of the teams are still playing at the moment. Certified Skids, the ex-Wolves lineup, 7-3'd the side of UAIM. So there's some results starting to filter through. I'll update them as the game goes on through, but we're not fussed about the other games right now. We're fussed about what we've got right in front of us. Pannuhuone versus Bourse, map number 2. Thanks, Ghost. Yeah, that video was a learning. The audio was not great. I need to work out how to edit audio. But thank you for sharing that. I'm glad someone else is. Anyone does have any feedback ever, please send it through, because it is helpful. The stuff we have missed, but we're not missing the action. We're not going to miss this. As I say, this could be the deciding 1-4 tonight. Pannuhuone could get a nice, comfortable 1-0 or 2-0 start. Obviously, fashion in how you do a game, it's not really too much of an issue. Whether it's a 2-1 45 rounder or whether it's a 2-0 14 round game. It doesn't matter. Job's done, job's done. That's all that matters for these teams. Pannuhuone 1-0 up, going on towards their own map pick. Now it is Consulate. They are starting on the attack to historically disfavoured side. However, it's certainly going to be one that they're going to be confident about. Maybe, just maybe, can get some magic going on through. Do Bourse make the comeback? Or is this going to be where their Swiss stage gets off to maybe not the best of starts? We will have to find out after this short ban phase. Let me just play some mad music now. Winner, chicken dinner. I predict 6-7 for Pannu. There you go. Heard it here. I don't think we can quite have a 7-6 scoreline, but there's a chance, there's an opportunity for it. Pannu Bourse, it's all at the top of the screen, so if you cast your eyes to the top right, that's our veto. 7-2 was map number 1, going the way of Pannu. We're now on Consulate, our decider sits on Clubhouse, so score's always up there, at least on my streams. Other streamers may vary. It feels like such a legal disclaimer at the end of that. Other streamers may vary. Terms and conditions do apply. Please be careful not to accidentally fall off of the rooftop, because we will be making fun of you and you will end up on Twitch and TikTok in the form of a clip where people will laugh. If ever in doubt, please consult a medical professional before consuming this Rainbow Six Siege related video game. Be warned, the show contains flashing images. Reloading. Okay, enough sillying. Siege on hand. Bourse on the top floor, starting the defense, as always would be to expect. You'll find on this lineup scattered out with utility. The Shunker, he's one of the strongest operators in this site. He's a really good one up here. Mika Launcher can do a lot of damage, especially with how tight some of the freeways are on console. At the default plant position, where you see there's 3 players kind of lurking at the moment, just through that doorway. That's the default plant position there. Shmika, very deadly, and perfect example of what you have to offer. Now, it's going to be Vivo on the front line this go around. I think he's going to be, I want to see him step up, be a little more aggressive here. He's playing the admin off his side on that Azami. She's going to be looking to stall out as much time as she can do. Best thing with Azami is you can replace those keep barricades. One gets shot, you've got another in back pocket. However, an early pick unresponded would indicate you probably weren't too prepared for it. And now Bibu, I think, recognising, hold on a minute, is this a hill I really want to die on? Caught in a bit of fire, caught in a bit of damage here inside of admin. All the players of Pannuhuone going to be watching this one, looking at and checking out every single angle. Throws the first keep barricade there, spotting the player on the vertical rappel on the long angle. Cautious of the one on the left, more importantly, cautious of the hop-in on the right. Just waiting for him to make a mistake, waiting for him to make a move, and just like that, one of the DMRs on his tight angles will cut him off. 3v5 situation, Pannuhuone establishing things very early inside of this one. Minute 40 seconds in. Got a player defending that sort of checkers hallway, but he's eventually going to have to fall on back here. It's a very limiting option here when you're in this 3v5, because you want to bite off more. You want to try and shut down Pannuhuone. You want to try and claim something back for yourself, not force this away in a 3v5. However, you can't really do that. Because if you die on your own, you're leaving your team in a 2v5. And I'm sure you all would know, 2v5 is not a good place to be in. Nor is a 3v5, really, but 2v5 is worse. Pressure for him from the skylight on Spiral. Gonna force Wazeka back away from that reception position. Pannuhuone, good amount of control of the map now. And can really use this last 60 seconds and the man count advantage they've established themselves to just press. Just slowly apply pressure. Just squeeze them around, squeeze them in. A flashbang there, going to deny some shenanigans from Wazeka on the top. They're going to try and charge this Denarion down. They know exactly where he is in that corner, and as soon as he steps out, he will be punished for it. Keok's going to try and go for something, will just immediately get punished, traded on through. Mike goes for the backstab, Balambe's right into it. That's his own game, he's confident on it. Pannuhuone, you're not seeing him let the break-in maps chain up their momentum at all. 1-0 lead their way. And 1-0 lead in some other of our games as well. M&M Academy, Myth Esports, the former of which, the M&M, named after the rapper, not the sweets. They find themselves 1-0 up after a 7-4 victory on the first map of that series.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
And in this round here as well, we're up towards the top floor. All the way sticking it. And identical lineup this coming time from Bourse. Exact same lineup, exact same weapons. Everyone's bringing the exact same thing. I think they believe it just fell apart at the first domino there. So it's just going to be a case of, well, how can we respond to that? How can we bring it back through? And just maybe not let that first pick go on through, I think is going to be the big important one inside of that one. Just don't let that first bandit die. Don't let Jin go out without much of a fight. And then you will be finding yourself in quite a good position.
5 seconds left.
I don't know. They are changing things up. In terms of their operator lineup, they're going to be bringing the Montaigne, going to be bringing the Glaz and the Deimos this time. So you could use the latter of those to apply some pressure from underneath. Go on the vertical, use that death mark. And inside a side as well, those smokes from the Glaz. They're going to be nasty at holding these longer angles. Something that you can find room for here on Conts. And same with that Montaigne. Just send him down yellow stairs. Force him to hold that shield on up. He's a time sinker, utility dump for those Shimikas. Or he's just someone you've got to keep an eye out for and keep on watching. Now, Nifsu got to commit to this drone here. Take out the reception desk. Has just enough time to do so. Fun fact. I feel not everyone knows, if you drive that drone into a wall, you can pick it back up. You cannot, however, pick up a teammate when they get shot in the face, so Jegs will be sitting the remainder of this round out. 5v4 established by Bourse. Good start. There goes the first Shmika. Aston He hops on in and starts to sink in that utility. Just has to be careful not to lose too much HP. You spot the player on the desk on the drone. Lambe almost catches one on the push across there. That's quite a lot of damage. Not enough to confirm the kill, unfortunately. You just got to be careful. You see players at 2 inside the bathroom looking to challenge, looking to try and be aggressive. BB throws to keep a barricade to cover the advance back and forth. It puts Lambe in a really sticky situation. Nifsu down below as well. They have an idea that one's in closet, I think. They have a rough idea. He's there. Never mind. No, they don't. Jin finds one. Jin gets 2. Third inside of the round. 2v5 now for Pannuhuone. He's left with a shield and a Lambe to pick up the pieces. How do they go? Where do they scrap this one out? That is the big question. You've got Bibu play this lovely little rat spot. He's going to catch the Monte to sleep at the wheel. Lambe hops in, finds 2, makes it a 1v3. But it's a very difficult situation to find yourself out of now. You're cornered in this bathroom, swung out by the one from yellow, cautious of the one behind. Got a few options right now. You've got a door, you've got the head hole, you've got the window. But all 3 of them, I've got a feeling they spell just a little bit of doom here. 45 seconds. You can throw the grenade, you can try and force them all out and about, but ultimately, Bourse are giving you absolutely none of it. You hear the one close. You're cautious of how to take him, how to challenge him. But all 3 just peek you all at once. Good close out there from Bourse. And for the first time, I think all series long, we've seen them have a response. We've seen them be able to deal with Pannuhuone's aggression. That's the big thing there. They can deal with the aggression. They can watch it. And they're able to shut it on through. Nifsu, I love you. Please commit to that. You got a glimpse of it there? Let's see some solid snake action. But I just want to watch this back here. Absolute sorcery from Jin, getting away with both of those. Meanwhile, in our attack on operator lineup. Exclamation marks above our heads. Cardboard boxes on backs, folks. Solid snake. He might just be making his debut here. Run away? He's got some pretty cool tricks up his sleeve. We'll see if he's committed on through to. I think on a map like Cons, it could actually work quite well for yourself. With how much there is to drone and how many rat spots there are, just that kind of presence detection he brings to the table. Very good. He can be very fun. And I think we actually are going to see a committal here of the newest addition to the game. Solid Snake joins the battle. Insert.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Hey, watch your 6. Oh. Wait. Reloading ammo.
Oh, bringing the FAMAS. F2. God, David Hayter's voice lines. Just on a very related side tangent. David Hayter, mwah, chef's kiss, does such a good job. It feels so goofy, but also so at home inside of this game. I love Snake. I'm so glad he's in this game and he's got a role for himself. I want to see him cook something up inside of this round. Supported by our other sort of roam clear, roam hunting operator. It's going to be Deimos. And Skopos, she's also changed this season. She is now a little bit speedier, and she can also punch big holes in things. Looking to punch a big hole in the defense right now is going to be Nikkei all the way inside of site itself. And while there's relatively few players at home, he's looking to try and take out the ones that are. Denies the Skopos' rotation opportunity, takes out Kyox, Brawl's emerging, shooting all over the place, but Pannuhuone just on top of the early chaos, able to capitalise upon it. Leave the final 3 defenders scrambling towards the objective, but Rastin with the diffuser all the way over on emergency exit. A little while away before we can get to the site. More importantly, he's got some defenders to try and chew his way through. Bibu's going to be on the receiving end of a Deimos track. They're going to know exactly where he is. Spot the player on through. Nikkei in a really tough corner. Blinds himself, but somehow still gets away with a kill onto Azeka. Bibu tries to get aggressive, but Jegs is there for the clap, for the hold angle. Good cross being held. Leaves it all up to Jin in the 1v4 situation. Unable to do anything. Pannuhuone there. Really good clear of the round. And unfortunately, while we didn't get to much see of Solid Snake in action, we still got some pretty fun rounds out of there, and a really good one there from Pannu. And again, it's just that direct incursion in towards the objective, working out so well for them. And you see, you get the death mark on through. Well, I think he was caught unaware and really probably should have been dead there, but still blind, able to find Wojeka. Cross held from Jegs, and then it's all up to Jin, who just in that position in a 1v4 can't really do a whole lot. Ah, I agree, Bandit. I agree. It's been a long day at the office, man. I was up at like 7 o'clock this morning, dry running work. That was fun. That was difficult. Got a job, chat. I know we don't like that word in this community, but it's a good thing. It means we can cast more Siege because it's a 9 to 5. It's not these weird retail hours. I've had to book this entire week off as holiday, just so I can, because originally the Swiss stage was going to be a week long. I've booked this entire week off as holiday, just so I could cast the whole week, and then that's like, nah, it's 4 days now. You can't win. If you Pannuhuone, you can win. 2 rounds on the attack of Consulate. Dry running work, yes. Listen, Sham, right, so I was like, I need to make sure I can actually get there in the time I think I can get there, because the buses in my area are chalked, is probably the best way to describe it. Absolutely chalked, so... Okay. Listen, and then I sat in a cafe and VOD reviewed for an hour. It was actually quite peaceful. Tiramisu, mocha frap in a cafe. Sitting and VOD reviewing some stuff from last week. Really peaceful morning. Do recommend doing it, actually. It was fun. But I'm tired already. No. I would never stay up late and play Siege. I don't know what you take me for. No, I would never do that. I don't do that kind of stuff. Everyone's still... Oh, another bug in the game. I'll have to see it. Oh, Zeka. Win. I'm so glad we... Come on, I want to see some good Snake. Show me Snake. Show me him doing something. I mean, Zeka's doing a really good job of just kind of keeping him at bay right now. Just kind of applying enough pressure back on towards the attack inside. But man in the sneaking bodysuit. He leads the charge on forward. Instead, yeah, get a sneaker. Is he just in sight? No, we've not just let... How are we letting him into sight? Why are we letting him constantly? He just keeps finding his way downstairs into the middle of it. And he's coming back up to support a teammate now because there's not enough people for him to shoot on the bloody objective. He's upstairs shooting, you guys. Where are we? Nowhere to be seen. Nivsu finds another 2v5 situation. Bibu's trying to have to make do. Mike cornered on the top floor. Disaster for Bourse. 25, and you're going to sprint out here straight into the line of sight. Alarmbe is more than happy to mop up the kill. There is one defender left. He's got to kill all 5 attackers, and I really just need to question in my head. That's 2 rounds in a row. Nikkei's just gone on a solo sneak-in mission in towards the objective. Screw Solid Snake. Screw the guy that's supposed to be good at stealth. You just send in that Norwegian with a social media addiction, and he shoots them all, gets the job done himself. And then he backs away, supports the team on the top floor, and now the whole team can just push in towards the objective. Stick down this diffuser. You're going to try and do some damage on towards Jegs, get up close with the Montaigne, but you're caught there. Flawless round from Pannuhuone. My oh my. I feel like things are spiralling out of control just a little bit for Bourse here. 3 rounds for Pannuhuone, only disrupted by 1 from the side of Bourse. They'll go back up towards the top floor, seeing as it's now unlocked. They can hope things work out for them. Pivoting from their old lineup here. Going to be going on with the mirror pick this time. Bringing out the Goyo in place of the Chanka as well. So we're just changing things up a little bit slightly. And it's a good one. I think when you try and play that kind of default admin side with that Azami, she's obviously been banned out now. Pado are really good at chewing their way through that. And I was actually quite surprised to see her banned. Because while it was bought, it wasn't really a problem for Panu. They just dealt with it every time it was bought and didn't really seem to give a damn about it. It was never the problem for them. So, we'll head through. Round number 5 now. Penultimate one of this half. Do we have any more game results? This is the important question. How many more game results can we have? Let's have a look. Blatant Gap, which is Akari, Garen, Bumsy, Sneak, and Shed. So X-Wild. 1-0 up against Order of the Shield. Gigiletti, Maestro Esca, and Tens Pantera Diavoli, and Secret Academy Turk still going. Bibu's not going. I'm not even looking at my screen. Can we wait, please, a little bit? And a really quiet game here on the side of Bourse. I understand round count-wise, but Zeka was having a really good game, and he's just not doing so much on this map. Ugh. Words. He's not doing it so much on this map. Bibu, again, he was pretty solid on the first map. Not so much here, unfortunately, and Just kind of died impactless, really there. It's a risk, it's a gamble you take, and sometimes the right course of action, but it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't do it, we'll probably moan and say, oh, it's a bit default, why aren't you trying something a bit bold to get yourself back in it? Equally, you try it, it's bold, it doesn't work, and you say, why are you doing that? So, I'll stop being negative. For the second being, Wazeka able to find one back the other direction, shuts down the striker, push in towards admin. Now C4 from Might, ready to go up, but the catch in there, perfect shots! And from the defense as well, some good shots of their own. Take out Lambe, Jin from below. C4 does miss the mark, now he's come up to check us to support the rest of the team as they can decide to push their way across. And only on the back foot for the first time in a little while, just as I say, Wazeka gives himself away to what ultimately seemed like a bit of a freebie to Nifsu from the roof, just unaware of the player, and that angle was being watched on through, and it puts a disadvantage situation into now an even one. 3 versus 3. Pannuhuone with the advantage. No longer in them, but they've also do have descents. They can push across checkers fairly easily here. He's got to worry about his trip connectors. It's all about his defending. A lot of the defensive utility has been expended to this point. Now, you do have Kirks over with the C4 in the back pocket of the ward, and if you want to swap him out with one of the other frontline players, bring him up to the tall ask. He can look, try and maybe lob a C4 through the hallway or just try and catch someone from underneath, but instead it's the backstab from the total rear. Jin going to be running on through, past Spiral, decides to think better of it, goes towards Yellow instead. Just need to be cautious to move quickly here. That's exactly what you do. Makes things into a 1 versus 3. Rastin answers back with 1. But unable to catch the Warden there. Keox with the SMG-12. Bourse will hold on. And at least be able to lock down this top floor here twice this half. Can they come out of it with an even split? Or will it be 4-2? Because their attacks were a bit troublesome on Lair. They definitely did struggle on that half. 5-1 if you were not there for it. Really just struggling with those kind of late end round executes, sort of making things able to convert. So hopefully for Bourse they've been able to address those issues, but even if they haven't coming out of this half with that kind of extra split on side of things, coming out with that kind of 3-3, that'll do them a significant advantage here inside of this one. As you say, just 2 quick kills. Rastin can capitalise on the chaos to find 1, but Keox is just ready for it.
Now you see me, now you don't.
GG Aletti.
Shall go now.
Italian team winning theirs. They're on top. Apparently, I've just had it come filter through in the old eardrum. Also, shout out everyone here tonight while we're here as well. There's so many of you following. Really do appreciate it. Really do love that you're all coming here to say hi, to come see what's going on. Do appreciate it. Do love you all. So thank you for coming in.
Can't you just let this one slide?
There, as I say, there's plenty of other streams going on at the moment, so don't be afraid to go and check out. I think Kangaroo Kenny's live in English as well, I was informed. And there's plenty of other streamers in the other languages going on as well. So most of the games, I think, are being covered tonight. Whoa, Sham, can't be showing... Nuh-uh. My Solid Snake. I was this close to doing a Snake closet cosplay. I have like a green shirt and a green tie that I was going to wrap around as a bandana. I was this close to it, but got too busy eating kebab before the stream started. This close! Maybe tomorrow. But just out of nowhere. Debu's died early again. I don't know how I feel about that. Still use those Razor Blooms. And Nikkei will find out. They can hurt. They're very good since the buff. Do a lot of damage. Kebab, yeah, Kebab was good. Kebab was absolutely bussin' from the place that calls me Trevor. Enough about Kebabs. Wazeka wants to go for one. Has the inkling that someone's made the entry on through. Going to be holding the angle. Lambedo. Nerves of Steel instead. It's from elsewhere. It's from above, actually. Nikkei on the top of the staircase will find 1. C4 goes up from Jin. Off intuition and hope alone, unable to find it. Does a lot of damage on towards Lambe. Can he confirm the pick? Better than the Parrot. This is my local boss man. So this is like the one that I've been going to for years. They know me by name, or by Trevor, not Travis. Even though I'm wearing a jersey that says Travi on the back at the moment today. It's Trevor. But it's a really good one. Oh dear. Drops down. Skylight will fall.
Reloading!
I've got the Bliss jersey on, so like the old like 2024 Bliss jersey. Love this thing. 3v3. You should probably cast some Siege. Jin able to find that equalising pick. Pop in now, admin side, push up across checkers. How do you break the stalemate? You have a gridlock in a default plant in position, but you don't have the cover there to facilitate the plant sticking on through, nor do you really have to use it. You need to dislodge this spiral player, need to find a way to deal with Jin, so you're just going to swing on out, take the gunfight, none other than Jegs to find it. Able to claim himself a second. And the defense of Bourse on that top floor collapses quite quickly, and while they can watch the default plant position from below, Pannuhuone will know that's exactly where the eyes are right now. Pivot away, pop the track stingers, and just try to go for this default plant position. Why you send Jegs down below? Why not while he's at it? He just wants to go and find this pick, and he's going to get it. Quad kill in the round for the newcomer to Pannu. And with it, coming out of this attacking half with that 4-2 advantage. Long for my local boss man to know my name. We love our local boss man here. We've been going to these guys since like literally, like I said, like since I was little. Like they're literally just like congratulating me on like a job and all that. It's always me and my granddad. We go. They always ask after my granddad. It's really sweet. It's wholesome. We got to know them in lockdown when it was eat out to help out. If anyone in the UK remembers that whole thing, where it's like half off food in lockdown if you went out. I think it was if you went outside to eat food, and because it was a takeout, but they didn't have a sit-in, it counted, so it was like half off. And we just kept going there because we were like, you know what? These guys, we like them, we like their food, and it's the excuse to eat a kebab for half the price. So that's when we really got to know them, because we were eating kebabs like twice a week. At that point, it was horrendous. Put on a lot of weight in lockdown. They were probably quite to blame for it, but listen. You got to hustle where you got to hustle. If they're offering you half off on your kebab, yeah, Nando's for a tenner. You could sit in and have food in like a good restaurant for a fraction of the price. That was a wild time. Eat out to help out. That was a wild era. Because I was in secondary school at the time, so it was like, I was the GCSE year, so we were like not doing anything because they were like, yeah, you're not sitting your exams after long enough. So I never revised anyway. I was like, it's fine. I'll just remember it if we need to do them, and we never ended up sitting them, thank God. Just got our predicted grades, which weren't horrendous. I was really good at cooking. My cooking teacher loved me. Sucked at the theory, the papers, but because we never actually sat our theoretical mocks, we'd only done our practical exam. That's all I got graded off, which I got like 58 out of 60 on. That was a class act.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Into round number 7 now. New half of Siege. Top floor defense here for Pannuhuone, and this is where Bourse need to be careful to come into things with, I think, a little bit of momentum. They need to come into this quite quickly. Issue with them stalling this one out here is we fall into that pivot and that pitfall you were on Lair, where the round count gets too deep, too far away from you too early onwards. So I think coming out the gates, swinging here, making it 4-3. At that point, you lose the round. Okay, you're in a 5-3. It's not disastrous. You come here, it's a 5-2. That then becomes a bit of a pickle. So for Bourse, I think it's really important they just come swinging here. Need to take this round. It's a very important one for them. And I like to see it. They're focusing on the utility here. You're sending in the Roteros, the Cludges, just to try to find that piece of what you can. You just got to be careful of this C4. Now, you know he's there. You have the yellow ping onto him. Maybe use those frag grenades on the Blackbeard, bounce him off the shelf, try and dislodge him. You know Lambes are lurking, but how do you actually get rid of him? Grenade's going to go. Window is going to open. His retreat is cut off, but he's going to take the opportunity to run away. Anyway, Clutch drone down with him. C4 from the Valkyrie does fall short, but Jegs is still going to be inside a break. Wanting to contest for the time being. We'll fall back to the hallway and eventually back towards the site side. Bourse, good start to the round. Effective clear. Now, how do you get rid of this vending player? Jegs is going to be holding it. You're a year below us. Ring dings. I'd have hated to do proper exam. I still hate doing exams to this day because we never sat the bulk of our GCSEs and I never did A-levels. We had to do a few in uni and it's just not used to doing them. It's so tough. So, credit to you, Van, for sticking those out because the exams are rough. So rough. Wanting to get aggressive. Nico with the shotgun. He's going to go for it. He's going to send it and find it. Oh, Bibu, the first one to fall for, I believe, round number 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunate him to go down early on in terms of round man count. Not early on in the round. 40 seconds left to go, and we're only just finding our first pick. But it's going in the way of the defense. Pannuhuone can play the trade game out for the remainder of this one. It's going to be reliant on this attack doing something interesting. Now they want to change to push in on through, try and force the Warden out. Really good teamwork there. Jin charging into site, finds 2. But the team's collapsing a little bit around them. Might look to try and take some ground. Try and find a safe corner to stick this defuse on down from behind the reinforcement. We'll find a bit of ground, but Nifsu on the long angle from behind the vending machine will find one back. And Jin, while he's been so great this game, so great this round, 8 seconds, so much space to cover. He'll be able to get a hit on one with the super shorty, get the down. Maybe be able to confirm the last. There you go. But the final player of Pannuhuone, they're just going to hide and tuck away. Leave themselves in a nice little corner. 5-2 the scoreline sits. As I said, this is where we start to get a little bit worried here if you're Bourse. Almost, I just missed Jin on the replay there. Shame. Jin's been so good. Jin's really impressed me. Especially this game. Just that kind of individual play. Even here with the shotgun against Nifsu. Does find it. Just Rastin doing what he should do in that situation, obviously hiding away, just tucked himself in a corner. Playing that clock game right on down to 0. But I feel with that one, it certainly does really put Bourse on the back pedal now. They've just lost a defensive round. Or an attacking round, rather. And it was close. It was better, to be fair, credit to him. It was certainly better than some of the attacking rounds on Lair did look, so improvements have been made. It's just going to be, is it going to be enough for them? They trail closer towards that match point, and the closer we get to there...
Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
Might be a tricky situation. Ambe wants it. He really wants that run out. He wants to go out there. He wants to go find something. Such a good stuff here. Let's speed running through this. Main breach going to be opened up. Thatcher Thermite combination. Taylor's Older's time. Gets the wall done. In pretty speedy work. 30 seconds through the round. Main breach is open. Nice. You can now start to focus on your vertical presence up above. Oh, Rastin. He wanted it. He wanted a C4. Right. I want to see some use out of Deimos. You've got 4 defenders identified here. Work out who you're playing against on this top 4. You've got the Mozzie, which is going to be the main one on that extension. Rastin. All the way on copy. There you go. You're going to be spotted out by the death mark now. Super shorty in hand. Now, we saw Jex do some pretty wild run-outs on Nighthaven Labs last week, and now I think we're going to get a little taste of the action here. He's outside the building, and back in the building. Relative safety. Saw him doing a little bit of labs, got some good clips of it. I think they've clipped on the channel as well, so do go watch them if you're interested. He was just outside the building having fun with it last week, and a little bit of the same Jegs creeping on through here. Of course, a little more serious, a little more locked in now, because it is that Swiss stage. These are the games that really matter for yourself. Especially Pannuhuone have had buys throughout the qualifiers. They want to come out the gates swinging here. And Jin inside of this round. While he's trying to get something going for his own team. It's double stack being held by Pannu, and while it will fall away, he will get the space. 60 seconds. Is that going to be enough time to convert this one? Especially when you've still got Lambe tucked up in Expo. Corner angle being held. Drone's going to come on through. We'll spot him out. And he drops. Smart. Away from the objective. Mike tries to get aggressive, try and catch him, but caught out by the goo mine. No way to go. 45 seconds now. This one's going to be a brutal. This one's going to be bloody execute here for the side of Bourse. How do they force this one? Pannuhuone giving themselves some more rotations, some more opportunities to send it. With time working against them. Pipe still to be opened on up. You're just going to have to charge on through. Blackbeard might to lead the brigade, lead them through on towards this round here. Needs to for the catch on the spiral staircase. In towards the site they go and drop in like flies. They will 2 down here. 2 quick kills. Make it a 3rd as well. Keox, the only one who actually make it past ground 0 in towards the objective himself, will find a pick. But immediately going to be traded back on out. Was Zeka trying to charge on through, pick up the pieces? No, Pannuhuone. Hold on to the round. And they will secure themselves a nice, quick, early map point here for themselves. 6-2. Our scoreline will sit. We get to watch that execute again. Like a well-oiled machine from Pannu. Everyone knows their part. They play it to perfection. Bourse, on the other hand, it just doesn't go well for them. 3 quick kills, much like that, and well, Keox does slip through the cracks, and he does get his credit, he does get his participation award, gets his 1. Zeka as well. Pannuhuone just not letting him have any of it. 6-2, our scoreline will sit. And this one has the potential to be a very speedy evening. Now I'm talking speedy evening.
10 seconds to insertion.
See what we can do here.
5 seconds to insertion.
On towards the tertiary now. Piano site. Going to be the option of choice for Pannuhuone. Playing around the vertical aspect. Going to be using a lot of shotguns here. C4 from below or above as well. Got the Solace, really good pick on this objective here. You can just play that vertical, play it around. Bourse, sticking to what they know, sticking to what they're traditionally playing. They've got the Deimos, they've got the Blackbeard, these 2 kind of picks that are going to be really, really pivotal for their roster and a good part of their attacks, but you need to get through this admin side. Grenade already in early from the IQ of Bibu. That's forced to play it back. And right as he tries to retake territory, he will be caught off guard. Now you go straight in. And Bibu's shut on down there. Nikkei just able to reclaim things back in the Blackbeard. Haven't hopped in the building yet, so he's unable to offer an immediate trade. And Pannuhuone, they've got their 1. They've made it a 4v4. They can just peel on back. They're composed. Run away and hide. Lambe with another. The things are quickly hitting disaster point here for the side of Bourse. 3v4 position.
Entry point secured.
Mike and Keox on the top floor trying to piece together what they can. Charge across. Flashbang's on towards the reception player. They're going to push on through. Stalled out momentarily by the Banshee. Bide a bit of a breathing window here for the Fenrir. He's able to find 1. Is traded back by Keox, but then there's Nikkei there to solidify things. Put the nail in the coffin. It's all down to Zeka. Pannuhuone almost there. 1 more kill to get over the line inside of this one. A clean, clinical 2-0 finish is on the horizon for them. It's just 1 final chance here for Zeka. Put together the pieces, but pressure on the vertical, can't quite stick it. Pannuhuone will take it. Dominant finish to this series, 2-0. And 7-2, 7-2. Bourse, some good attempts made, but unfortunately just for them, not going to be enough. And it will be Pannuhuone to finish side, straight into Challenger Series, Swiss stage, and straight into it with a very good performance there. 7-2 yet again. And as I said, they will be claiming this series in pretty quick, pretty strong fashion. And congratulations to the players over there. All of you in chat as well. Thank you for putting on a great show tonight. It was some wonderful siege there from Pannu. Glad to see them. What they've been cooking has certainly paid off, and they will find themselves that early victory, which puts them in the winner's bracket for going into tomorrow. Speaking of games being finished as well, we're not the only one to be done and dusted for tonight. Heretics also pretty comfortably finished their series. 7-0, 7-2. Cooley, does Jegs want to come for an interview? I will take an interview from Jegs. I will more than happily do it. If Jegs wants to come on, let's get Jegs on. Why not? We could put Cooley's interview on. What do you say, Jegs? We can play Cooley's interview if you'd like. All in jest, boys, all in jest. Phenomenal stuff, really. Really impressive. I'll let you all... I'll let you guys celebrate your victory. I won't keep you too long. You've got more games to play tomorrow. You got plenty more to play ahead of yourself tomorrow. Or the Moro, as the chat is saying, and there's other games going on, so I'll let you guys rate. We'll go raid you guys out to them, see what's going on. But yeah, really great stuff from Pannu there. Really great sort of entry to form into Challenger Series. Quite excited to see what they got cooking for them. As for me, as for myself, EML will be back on tomorrow, same time, same place. But before so, we're also going to be going live with APAC North and Asia sub-regions earlier on in the day. 10 AM GMT, 13:30 GMT, and Mr. Finland's confident. Back to T1 they go. As for the rest of you all, have a wonderful evening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be raiding you out to Kangaroo, who's doing some more of these wonderful Challenger Series games. Thank you all for watching. Sorry it's been a quick one, but unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Take care, and have a wonderful evening.